Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Trippy Commentaries. Thanks for joining me in Grand Theft Auto 5 as we try to solve the Chiliad mystery. We have Giameni join up for this episode. What is happening, Giameni?
Hey, what's up, RJ? It's a pleasure to be with you again. I hope you're doing good also.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good on the Trippy side. Hope you're all good over there. You're French, but of course you're in Germany right now, right?
Yeah, you're right. I do my video in French, but I'm living in Germany.
Yeah, we definitely have talked about this mural in the past in one of our videos. I'll have a link in the description. But there's a lot to say, Giameni. I think that this could be the missing puzzle piece of the Chiliad mystery. If you look at the fingers, they point straight up to the maze bank. You have the V on one side and the I on the other. I think that we have the exact locations that this mural is pointed to, because if you look beyond the mural itself, you can see a maze in the background. That is the same thing with the Chiliad mystery mural. It seems like it's all one big maze, Giameni.
Exactly, the two look really similar. The maze that you have behind that mural, same that you have also on the Chiliad mural.
The only difference is you have the UFO, the jetpack, and the egg on the Chiliad mural. So the egg was recently discovered in Grand Theft Auto Online. We found the UFO. Who knows where the jetpack is? That's, of course, a big question. But I think that this mural might be pointing us to possibly exactly where the Chiliad mystery ends, because you have the beginning, as it says begin, behind the V. You have an I here. It also says something behind the I as well. We might have to look at that more in depth. And then you have this structure. We know exactly where the structure is, guys. And if you look beyond the structure, it says end. So we may have the ending of the Chiliad mystery, at least as far as this mural is concerned.
You talk about the eye at the Penrith building, and it's really something that blew my mind when you said that, because I didn't thought about that eye could possibly mean the Penrith building. If that eye is really the Penrith building and the finger eye pointing in the direction of the maze bank, meaning the V should be there somewhere on the left side, and it's something that we miss completely since the beginning.
For sure, the biggest eye that I could think of is definitely the Penrith building. So is that the same eye from the mural? And not only do you have the eye itself, but you have Penrith, which of course scrambles to sniper. So if that's the case, then maybe a sniper is part of this mystery as well. Do you have any thoughts about the eye and its possible link to the mural, Giameni?
Everybody is asking, what the fuck is that big eye is doing there? You know, and when you see it on the Karma mural, what you point there, it's really a good call, because it's look like perfectly logic. I mean, you see the eye on the Karma mural, and when you see the one on the Penrith, it's look logic that it could be that high. And the ends are pointing really in direction of the maze bank, meaning that V could be there somewhere around. It's a place that we need to investigate again. We have something more to discover there, it's sure.
Well, there's a couple things that I was looking at, Giameni. Of course, you have the building across from the Penrith building, which has the pyramid on top, and that was used in some of the promotional pictures for Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto 5. So there might be some sort of connection. And then you also have the Arcadius building. You mentioned that. You think that maybe that's involved as well?
Yeah, it's also what you said when I said that the V should be there around. The only building that can be in the same structure, it could be the Arcadius building, and you notice it immediately. You say, yeah, the Arcadius, it's the V on the other side, so it also link up.
That was a damn good point, bro. Now, it's a business center. The logo looks a lot like the Zancudo UFO for no reason almost. And then you have that white, looks like an arrow pointing up. Maybe that's showing us that the UFO is up, or it could possibly be a link to the V, because if you come over to this area, it does almost look like a green V. It is interesting how you have the Penrith building, the Maze Bank building, and as you mentioned, the Arcadius building, all together right there in the same area, kind of formed almost like they are on the mural. Here's a picture that Giameni sent me. You can see the V, and right behind it, you have begin. So that's why we were trying to figure out exactly where that V was, and it seems to line up with this hotel. This is the Venetian Hotel. The V looks a lot like it does on the mural. It even has the same green color in the background as the Grand Theft Auto 5 logo, especially at night when it lights up a little bit more. I haven't really found anything though, Giamatti, other than you have the peyote plant. You know, maybe we have to turn into a bird. What do you think about it?
Exactly, that location is the second possible location for the beginning of that maze, of that road, of what is drawn behind those hands. As you said, that hotel can be the second possible location for the beginning. Is also a peyote plant near to it, a bird peyote plant. We know that the bird's eye view is pretty important to see pretty much thing in GTA. Since the whole game, they always used the bird's eye view to show us some stuff. Maybe it also could be the beginning of that maze, of that road that we possibly have to follow to solve something. The karma mural, to solve it, because it's one of the piece of the puzzle that we still didn't solve till now. And that place could also be the beginning.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it to me. And you brought up the bird's eye view. You have this yin yang symbol well hidden from the bird's eye view. We also looked up this structure. This is a gazebo, which is called a torii. And if you look up the definition to a torii, apparently it marks out a sacred location. So we've been checking around this area. And sure enough, you have, I believe, a second V that looks pretty close. Here we have the Valdez Theater, and there's another V. So where you have the two Vs, Giamatti, and possibly a third if you look at the Arcadius building, you also have the I's. What do you think about possibly this building being a V, or maybe another I being the Ferris wheel, which is commonly called an I? You know, it just seems like it's almost hard for us to pinpoint the exact locations.
Yeah, as you said, it's really hard to point the exact location because you have more place where you have some different, like the V can be the Arcadius building or can be there as Vespucci Beach. The I can be the wheel from the ferry, as you said, or can also be the Penrith building. It's different places that match up with that mural. And we have to really investigate everywhere to be sure to find exactly where it is and where it could lead to something also.
Yeah, I know you're very interested in the Penrith building area, as we talked about with the Arcadius building. Maybe there's something we're missing in that location, guys. But if you think about the maze that's hidden at the Los Santos mural, the maze that's at the Chiliad mural, there's also another maze hidden right here in Vespucci Beach, and I think that this one lines up not only to the locations that we talked about, but it also shows you where the possible ending is. Here's another picture that Giamatti sent, yet another clue hidden from a bird's eye view. So this is exactly where we're at now in the game. I'll switch it over here in a moment, but take a look at that because we still have yet to pinpoint exactly where that map is pointing out. Some people have told me that it might be the canals right next to this location, but I think it might be in the downtown area.
We talk about some different points, and I'm still a bit struck on the fact about what you said from the high and the V could be in downtown. The maze that you show on the floor could possibly be even the end of the maze behind the structure with the hand that we see on the Karma mural.
Yeah, unfortunately those hands seem to be blocking a good portion of the mural out, but we think that we may know where the ending of that mural is, guys, and it's pretty close. So look at this picture, guys. You can see behind that crooked structure, whatever that is, you can see a couple words, but there's clearly end right in the middle. So that's why we were trying to figure out exactly what that was. Huge shout out to Trippy Pam, because she pointed out that it is most likely this massive structure on the beach. You can see the color is very close. It has the same crooked lines to it. What do you think, G-Many? Do you think that maybe this is possibly where they're pointing out the end is?
It could be. It could be. The shape is pretty matching up with the hands on the mural and the form also. And you also have the tree, like on the mural is like tree kind of big, cannot say lightning, but you have tree of the tree like kind of lines that you have between the ends on the mural, and you find the same one on that sculpture. And also you have the maze that you show on the floor and the maze that you have behind, so it could match. Yeah, it could be a possible location. We need to investigate. We need to investigate more on that place.
So if this is possibly the end, and you talked about how you have that maze not really too far away, look at a couple other things that seem to be close by. First of all, the sundial, considering there's the praise the sun clue and really so much going on with the sun and the formation of it to create the jetpack symbol at the Altruist Colt and even a hidden X at the wind farm. So perhaps there's a specific formation that we need to get from the sundial. Another thing that I found is kind of interesting that's not too far away. If you come over this way, there's the shark with the surfboard, but to the left of that, there's a mysterious sewer entrance or something going on over here, G-Many. Kind of stands out to me. Maybe this is the end, perhaps you have to go down there. I've tried to open it and clearly there's nothing going on. If you look at the map, it does make up kind of what looks to be an octagon shape or something like that, yet it doesn't make that out here in the real world. So that's my only idea. As you were saying, there's more we have to look at with this specific location, especially if the mural is pointing this out as a possible ending.
You're pointing an octagon on the map. I just have a picture of the mural, of the karma mural in front of me, and if you look inside the eye, it's formed a kind of octagon.
There's the eye. I can definitely see what you're talking about, Giamatti. In fact, I've seen that before and thought it just looked odd for an eye. You know, there's a lot of shapes in there. One thing I thought of is the spider webs, which is just another mystery added in the game. We have the spider webs on Mount Chiliad that are not solved at all. And I think maybe you're right. That does seem to line up at least a little bit with the location on the map there, looking at the, what is that, the pupil of the eye.
Yeah, exactly. It's look pretty. It's the same shape. It's really the same shape. I just noticed that now, while we was talking about it and watching the picture, and I remember you showed that in live a few days ago, and you was talking about that octagon there at Vespucci Beach near that big sculpture that could possibly be the end.
Possible places from the mural matching up to places in Los Santos, guys. The last question I have for you, Giamatti, is what it says around the mural itself. You know, it gives off a very cryptic clue. I mean, what exactly does it say?
It said, "For when the great score come to write against your name, he mark not that you win, but how you play the game." That sentence talk alone, and it's pretty clear that it's make us understand that to solve the mystery, we don't have to beat the game, but it's how we will play it and how we will understand it.
You know, it's basically how you play the game, not how you win. It's a very cryptic sentence, guys. They would not put that there for no reason. And I think that everything is connected to the Chiliad mystery. Just keep in mind those fingers from the mural line up exactly to the maze bank. There's the maze clearly in the background of that mural. And it even has a beginning and an ending. Thanks again for joining up for the episode, guys. We have some huge episodes planned for Giamatti, so stay tuned for that. I'll have a link in the description for Giamatti's channel, so definitely show him some love as well. What do you think, Giamatti? Considering we may now know where the ending is from the mural, I think we might be close to getting to an ending for the Chiliad mystery.
Is that I hope, really, because now the mystery is going on since almost 4 years. It was 4 years since the release of GTA 5, and it's really time now to solve it and understand the clue they left for us.
Yeah, they just put out that announcement, of course, that there will be no single-player DLC added to the game, so I know a lot of people were pretty frustrated to hear that, but there's nothing from the Chiliad mystery that has been from a DLC. Everything's been there from the beginning when it first released on the original consoles, guys. So why would they put the jetpack on there, especially if we found the egg and we found the UFOs? I have a feeling that there's definitely going to be some sort of conclusion to this mystery. Rockstar knows just how big it is. And we will definitely be here to hopefully solve it, guys. So join up with our community, and special shout out to everyone who's already part of the Trippy community. Thanks again for being part of it, G-Manny.
You're welcome. It's always a pleasure to be there, and it's always a pleasure to be with you and with the Trippy community. You have a great, great, great community, and it's gonna still continue to grow up.
Stay tuned. We have some huge live streams planned for Halloween, so if you guys are not going to be out trick-or-treating, we invite you to hang out with us. Thanks again to Giamatti for joining up, and we'll definitely see you guys in the next Chiliad Mystery episode, as there are a lot of very, very big things to cover. We'll have another episode with Giamatti as well. So stay tuned here, Trippy Commentaries. But more importantly, as always, make sure to stay motherfucking trippy, my friends.